everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mary. I talk about singles, dating and marriage. Thank you so much for love and thank you for support always. If you're new here, you are welcome and feel at home. So in today's video, I'll be talking on the topic things every single young woman needs in a husband. In this video, I share just some of the character traits that every young woman or every girl should pray for concerning their future husband. The decision of who to marry should not be taken lightly because a good marriage is largely dependent on whom you marry. And once you marry a wrong person, it might or you marry wrongly, it might be difficulty for you to have a good marriage. That is why you don't make the mistake of choosing your spouse on your own, and don't just settle for anything less than God's will. You must involve God in this decision, involve your parents or guardian, and involve your spiritual leaders. Don't just be in a hurry to get married because everybody is getting married. Take your time. So the first character trait that you need in a husband is a man who loves God. This is the first and most important character trait to look for in a man. If a man loves God, it is just obvious that that man will love his wife, because if he loves God, it means that he loves God's commandment and he obeys God's commandment. And God, one of the commandments is that men or husbands should love their wives. So if that man loves God, it means that automatically that man loves his wife. So it is very important for you as a woman to look for this character trait. Don't just marry someone who has no any relationship with God. It is very important for you to fall in love, to marry someone who loves God. And I pray that God will help you. And let me say that as a Christian, don't marry someone who is not a non-believer, a person who is not born again. That everybody that the man that not everybody going to church is born again. So it is very important for you to look for a man who is born again. Don't just settle for anything thinking that they will change. No, marriage does not change people. So it is very important for you as a Christian to marry a person who is a believer, and this person loves God, and that one will help you. Another trait you need to look for in a husband is a man who is a spiritual leader, because God commands husbands to be the head of their wife, of their home, or the head of your husband is your head. So it is very important for you, don't marry someone who is spiritual leadership is very important, because this man will lead you to to grow in the things of God more. Don't marry someone who will be pushing him to read the Bible, to pray, to do the things of God, to serve God. No, it is very wrong. Marry someone who pushes you to serve God more and more, and this one will help you, and I pray that God will help you. Another character trait that you need to look for in a man is a man who is considerate. Don't just marry someone who consider himself and himself alone. Marry someone who takes a man who if a man truly loves you, he will take he will take your thoughts and feeling into consideration and then act accordingly. So if you date a man who does not take your thoughts seriously, you need to think about that relationship. So another thing you need to look for in a man is a man that is slow to anger. In Proverbs 22:24 says that, just part of it says that make no friendship with an angry man. If God himself says that don't make a friendship with an angry man, how can you afford to marry someone who is angry? Don't marry someone who gets angry quickly. No, it's very wrong, because if you get married to this person, he will provoke you to to get angry, and this one will lead also to children. So if you cannot be in a presence with someone who is angry and just you will just remain humble, or no, it cannot. It is very difficult. So it is very important for you to marry someone who is slow to anger. The Bible says that make no friendship with an angry man. It means that don't even marry an angry man. And I pray that God will help you in this area. Another thing you need to look, another character trait you need to look for in a husband, is a man with a good name. In Proverbs 22:1 says that a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. When I say a good name, I don't mean that that name sounds sweet, or that name. No, when I say good name, I mean good reputation. Because you are going to get married to this man, and you are going to carry his second name. And if you marry someone who has a bad name, bad reputation, it means that you also are going to carry this. When people see you, they see those reputation, because you are Mr. So and so, Mrs. So and so, you carry that name, and that bad reputation will just continue to follow you. People will see, when people sees you Mrs. X, and those bad reputation of Mr. X, they also follow. They just see that Mrs. X has also those negative reputation. So it is very important for you to marry a man with a good name, which I mean is a man with good reputation. Don't just be in a hurry to marry anybody, and I pray that God will help you. Another character trait you need in a husband is a man that is wise with money. A foolish man spendeth it everything. If you spend everything that you're going to earn, you get in business, or you are being paid, it means that you are foolish. And this one is for all of us. As men and women, we need to have to learn skills on how to to handle money wisely. And as a young woman, you need to learn on how to to handle your money, on how to save, on how to even to invest. Don't just spend everything. And if you have this, if you have wisdom on how to handle money, that is not also enough. You need to pray and look for a man who has this quality, that is wise with money. Because if a man is, one day, a man is going to be a provider of that home. Let us say that example, you decide that this man is going to be, as a husband, is going to provide for that home. You are going to stay in the house as you take care of your children. And if both of you don't have wisdom on how to wisdom on how to handle money, you are going to lack. You are going to to get in problems. So it's very important for you, the both of you, to learn on how to learn on how to have wisdom on how to earn, on how to save, on how to invest what God puts in your hand. And I pray that God will help you. Another thing is, you need a man that is pure. None of us is perfect. Everybody, you need, as much as we are not perfect, don't just marry anybody who cannot even control himself. There are people that, as a man, a man misbehaves when he cannot stay in the midst of women. He just misbehaves. Don't marry that kind of man, because that man is going to give you problem when it comes to marriage. He will not be satisfied with you alone, because he will go out to look for other women. And because you find him that way, there's no way you're going to stop him. So it's very important for you to look for a man. No, none of us is perfect. To look for a man who at least who has chosen, or who is willing to walk in righteousness. And I pray that God will help you. And I pray that whatever that these things that I've shared in this, these are the some character traits. There are so many of them. So it is up to you to look to add more and more on this list, so that you cannot just, as I said earlier, don't settle for anything less than God God's will. God knows your desire to get married, and if it is God's will for you to get married, I'm telling you, when that time comes, you'll get married. So don't just be in a haste to get married because everybody is getting married. This decision of who to marry is very important. So don't just do it carelessly, don't just do it because of the pressure from family or from friends. And I pray that God will help you. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for listening to me. I hope you have gotten something in this video. As a single young woman, I pray that this whatever I've shared today, is has a greater impact in your life. Please kindly give this video a thumbs up, and if you can share it with those who need it, I will appreciate. And if you have anything you want me to know, don't hesitate to comment in the comment box. And if you have not subscribed, please just click on the red button below written subscribe, and click on the bell beside there, so that every time I upload a new video, you'll be among those that will be notified. Thank you so much, and see you in my next video. Bye.